Alright, let's get real. You're here because you're searching for the answer to one big question. What is the one thing that will make any woman truly regret losing you? Maybe she's already walked away, maybe she's distancing herself, or maybe it feels like you're nothing more than a background figure in her life. No connection, no appreciation, and now, here you are, trapped in a spiral of self-doubt, wondering, how do I make her realize my worth? I completely get it. It hurts when someone you care about doesn't value you. It's more than just rejection. It feels like a hit to your very identity, your confidence, and your sense of self-worth. But here's the truth you need to truly understand. This isn't about her. This is about you. The key to making her regret losing you isn't a mind trick, a clever game, or a desperate plea for attention. No, it's something much deeper than that. It's about becoming the kind of man she simply cannot forget, not just in her life, but in her mind. And here's why this video is so important. I've decided to create part 2 because there are 3 more critical things you absolutely must hear right now. We're going to break this down even more so you can truly grasp what it takes to elevate your worth. Trust me, this deeper dive is exactly what you need. Number 1, stop chasing, start valuing yourself. The first thing you need to understand is this. Chasing someone who doesn't respect or appreciate you is like trying to fill a leaky bucket with water. No matter how much you pour in, it will never hold because the vessel is broken. It doesn't matter how much effort you put in, it will never be enough to make them care or reciprocate. You will end up draining yourself, emotionally and mentally, while they remain unaffected. So here's the solution. Stop chasing her and start valuing yourself. I know it sounds simple, even cliche, but this is the turning point. The real challenge is not just stopping the chase, but truly understanding your own worth. In the subtle art of not giving a vefki. Mark Manson talks about a powerful truth. People only value what they've had to earn. When you freely give your time, energy, and love to someone who hasn't earned it, you unintentionally send the message that your worth is something that can be taken for granted, and that's a dangerous message to send, both to them and to yourself. It's time for a shift. Pull back. Stop being excessively available. Redirect that energy inward. Invest in your personal growth. Pursue your passions. Focus on your health and well-being. This isn't just about cutting off a cycle of one-sided effort. It's about completely redefining the way you view yourself. You're telling yourself, I deserve someone who values me as much as I value myself. You're setting the standard of what you're willing to accept, and you're no longer playing small. Here's the fascinating part. When you stop seeking her validation, something incredible happens. Your absence becomes palpable. The attention and effort you once gave freely, things she may have overlooked or taken for granted, suddenly become things she misses. And that's when regret starts to creep in. She'll begin to realize that you were worth far more than she ever acknowledged. She'll realize that losing you was a mistake. But here's the twist. This shift is not just about making her regret losing you. It's about reclaiming your power, your confidence, and your self-respect. The most magnetic version of yourself is not the one who is constantly seeking attention or approval. It's the version of you that is centered in your own worth, the one who radiates self-respect. When you stop chasing and start valuing yourself, it's like a spark that ignites a fire within. The moment you stop seeking validation is the moment you begin to evolve into the best version of yourself. That transformation isn't something anyone can ignore. It will turn heads, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because your growth, your self-assurance, and your emotional independence are magnetic in a way that mere chasing could never be. Number 2, build a life that outshines the past. Let me share something transformative with you. In Atomic Habits, James Clear introduces a powerful concept. Small, consistent actions compound over time to create extraordinary transformations. It's like planting a tree and nurturing it daily. At first, it seems insignificant, barely noticeable. But over time, as you continue to tend to it, you look up one day and see a towering oak that you didn't even realize had been growing beneath your feet. This principle doesn't just apply to forming habits, it's a guiding philosophy for your entire life. If you want her to regret losing you, the goal isn't to make flashy, superficial changes just to grab her attention. Instead, your focus should be on cultivating a life so vibrant, fulfilling, and powerful that it simply cannot be ignored. This is about building a life that stands on its own, whether or not she's in it. Start with a brutally honest inventory of your life. Take a step back and ask yourself, am I thriving in every area, or am I merely coasting? Look at your physical health, career, hobbies, friendships, and overall happiness. Are you putting in the effort to make these areas of your life exceptional, or are you just getting by? If you've been on autopilot, it's time to hit the reset button. Start with your health. Work out regularly, eat well, and find activities that make you feel strong, energetic, and confident. When you take care of your body, it's a reflection of how much you value yourself. This doesn't mean you need to be a gym rat, but putting energy into your physical well-being is a non-negotiable foundation for confidence. Next, look at your career. Are you actively pursuing growth? Are you challenging yourself, learning new skills, or striving towards something bigger? Or are you stuck in a rut, accepting mediocrity? Take charge of your professional life, whether that means asking for more responsibility, switching paths to something that excites you, or starting that side project you've been dreaming of. Your ambition and drive will naturally set you apart. Then examine your passions and hobbies. What lights you up? What makes you lose track of time because you're so immersed in it? Whether it's playing an instrument, painting, writing, coding, or exploring nature, reconnect with the activities that bring you joy and fuel your creativity. But there's one more crucial element: relationships. Surround yourself with people who challenge and inspire you, the ones who elevate you to be your best self. Cut out negative influences, those who drain your energy or undermine your self-worth, and make room for those who bring positivity, ambition, and support. The people you choose to have around you are a direct reflection of the life you're building. Now, don't get hung up on perfection. This isn't about becoming flawless or comparing yourself to others. It's about progress, not perfection. It's about continuous improvement. As you begin to elevate each aspect of your life, something powerful happens. You begin to radiate confidence, purpose, and energy. You become a person who is actively living a life that is full, exciting, and truly fulfilling. And that's when she'll notice. She'll see you thriving, doing things she never imagined, and suddenly she'll be asking herself, why didn't I recognize this potential in him before? But here's the crucial part. You're not doing this for her. You're doing it for yourself. Because a life built on self-improvement and self-worth is the foundation of true happiness and fulfillment. When you're constantly growing and building your own life, you don't need anyone else's validation. You know your worth. And here's the ironic truth. When you focus on becoming the best version of yourself, people are naturally drawn to you. This isn't about desperation or manipulation. It's about creating a life that exudes fulfillment and purpose. That energy is magnetic. Remember, the goal isn't to simply make her regret losing you. That's just a byproduct. The real goal is to build a life so rich, so meaningful, that you're proud to wake up to it every single day. Her realization of what she lost, that's just a footnote in your story, because by that point, you'll have moved so far beyond the past that her regret will hardly matter. You'll be living a life so full of purpose, joy, and growth that you won't even need to look back. At that point, you won't need anyone's approval to feel validated. You'll already know deep down that you are more than enough. Number 3, the power of letting go. This may be the hardest step of all, but it's also the most transformative. It's time to let her go. And not just in your actions. This means releasing her in your heart and mind. You need to stop replaying every conversation, every moment you shared, wondering what you could have done differently, and trying to control how she feels about you. Holding on to these things is like carrying around an enormous weight that keeps you stuck in the past. It's a weight that prevents you from moving forward, a constant burden on your energy and emotional well-being. The truth is, clinging to what's gone only prolongs your pain. It traps you in a loop of what ifs and maybes, keeping you from embracing the possibility of something better. Let me share a powerful lesson from Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. In his book, Frankl writes about how true meaning in life isn't found by obsessing over what we've lost, but by redirecting our focus toward our purpose and what lies ahead. Frankel's perspective is the key to what you need right now. When you let go of obsessing over her, whether or not she regrets losing you, you open up space for genuine transformation. You free yourself from the chains of what could have been and begin focusing on what really matters, building a life you're proud of. Letting go doesn't just release you from emotional baggage. It's an opportunity to reclaim your energy, to pour it into goals, passions, and relationships that truly bring you joy and fulfillment. The energy you once used to ruminate on the past can now be channeled into the future. But don't confuse letting go with giving up. It's not about surrendering to despair or pretending she never mattered. It's not about denying the impact she had on your life. Letting go is an act of strength, of self-respect. It's about believing that you deserve more than being someone's afterthought or second choice. Letting go isn't easy, and it doesn't mean you'll stop caring overnight. The memories won't vanish just like that. But here's the thing, over time, you'll notice a shift. The grip that those old feelings have on you will start to loosen. You'll feel lighter, more at peace, and more in control of your own story. Think of it like this. You can't embrace the future while clinging to the past. The very act of letting go is what opens the door to new opportunities, relationships, and experiences that are far more aligned with the person you're becoming. You'll soon find that by releasing the past, you've made room for something even better, something that fits the life you're creating for yourself, one that aligns with your growth and goals. This isn't about trying to make her regret losing you. No, it's about freeing yourself from that need entirely. When you no longer need anyone's validation to feel complete, you reclaim your power. And ironically, when you truly let go, that's when people tend to notice. But by then, it won't matter nearly as much to you because you'll have found something much more valuable, a sense of peace, purpose, and self-worth that no one can take away. Number 4, become irreplaceable. Let's shift gears and talk about stepping into your power, becoming the kind of man no one can replace. This isn't about flashy cars, designer clothes, or a fat bank account. Sure, those things may catch someone's eye, but they will never hold anyone's attention for long. True irreplaceability isn't built on what you own, it's built on who you are. Consider the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius in his Meditations, where the Stoic philosopher writes, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." This timeless advice captures the essence of what it means to be irreplaceable. It's not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about living with purpose, integrity, and self-respect. So ask yourself, what kind of man do you want to be? Do you want to be the guy who constantly chases validation, bending over backward to be liked? Or do you want to be the man who knows his worth, stands firm in his values, and doesn't need anyone else's approval to feel complete? The latter is the man people regret losing. That kind of strength, that unwavering self-assurance is rare. Becoming irreplaceable starts with a commitment to personal growth. You can't give what you don't have, and the journey begins by focusing on developing your mind, your body, and your character. Read books that challenge you, expand your intellectual horizons, and spark new ideas. Take the time to learn, to grow, because that's what makes you interesting and dynamic. As you build mental strength, don't neglect your physical health. It's not about getting fit to impress others. It's about feeling strong and confident in your own skin. Exercise for your mental clarity, your energy, and your vitality. Taking care of your body sends the message that you value yourself, and that is incredibly attractive. Equally important is developing emotional intelligence. Learn to listen, empathize, and communicate effectively. A man who understands emotions, his own and others, is powerful. People naturally gravitate towards someone who makes them feel heard, respected, and understood. The way you connect with others on a deeper level will make you unforgettable. Now, let's talk about confidence. Confidence is key, but there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. Confidence says, "I know my worth," while arrogance says, "I'm better than you." The former draws people in, while the latter pushes them away. True confidence is magnetic because it's rooted in authenticity and self-acceptance. Strive for confidence that comes from knowing your value without needing to prove it to anyone. However, confidence isn't the only quality that makes a man irreplaceable. Kindness is just as important. Be kind. Not because you're expecting something in return or because you're trying to impress others, but because it's a reflection of your character. People remember how you make them feel, and genuine kindness has the power to leave a lasting impact. It's an often overlooked quality that truly sets you apart from the crowd. Lastly, be driven, not for anyone else's approval, but because you have goals that genuinely matter to you. Whether you're advancing in your career, mastering a skill, or pursuing a passion, being a man of purpose is magnetic. You exude a sense of direction and fulfillment that is impossible to ignore. People are drawn to those who have a clear sense of where they're going and why it matters. When you are living your best life, thriving in your passions, upholding your values, and radiating confidence, something extraordinary happens. You naturally set yourself apart from the crowd. You no longer need to prove your worth because your actions speak louder than words. Your life becomes a reflection of who you truly are, and that's what makes you irreplaceable. The beauty of becoming irreplaceable is that it's not just about making someone regret losing you. It's about creating a life so fulfilling and so aligned with who you truly are that you're the one who gets to decide who stays and who goes. When you reach that level, you're no longer chasing anyone. Instead, you're attracting the kind of people who truly deserve to be in your life. Number 5. Embrace self-discipline. Self-discipline is the foundation for any lasting change. It's the ability to stay focused and committed, even when things get difficult or uncomfortable. Without self-discipline, it's easy to get sidetracked by distractions, procrastination, and the temptation to avoid discomfort. But true success, whether in your personal life, career, or relationships, comes from the ability to push through challenges and remain consistent over time. In The War of Art, Steven Pressfield discusses the concept of resistance, the force that works against your growth, creativity, and goals. It's that voice in your head telling you to quit, to settle for mediocrity, or to put off the hard work. Pressfield's key message is that the most successful people aren't necessarily the most talented, they are simply the ones who refuse to give in to resistance. They show up every day, regardless of how they feel, and keep pushing forward toward their goals. Developing self-discipline means creating habits that push you toward your goals, even when your motivation wanes. Start small by setting clear, actionable goals and holding yourself accountable to them. Whether it's sticking to a workout routine, making time for personal growth, or staying on top of your professional ambitions, self-discipline is what keeps you moving forward when everything else feels like it's pulling you backward. A great way to start cultivating self-discipline is by creating a routine that prioritizes your most important tasks. Whether it's a morning ritual that sets the tone for your day or a set time for learning something new, consistency is key. Over time, you'll start to see the compounded benefits of small, disciplined actions. You'll feel more accomplished, focused, and empowered. When you embrace self-discipline, you start to master yourself. You build mental toughness and an unshakable commitment to your own success. The results might not come instantly, but they will accumulate over time. You'll become a person who doesn't give up easily, who pushes through the tough days and rises to meet challenges head on. This kind of inner strength, perseverance, and determination is incredibly attractive to others because it shows that you are someone who can handle anything that life throws at you. Number 6, cultivate inner peace. Inner peace is the bedrock of a truly fulfilling life. Think about it. When you are at peace with yourself, there's an undeniable calm confidence that emanates from within. You stop seeking validation from others because your self-worth is already grounded in who you are. This inner sense of peace becomes the anchor that keeps you steady no matter what's happening around you. The more you invest in cultivating a peaceful and balanced life, the less you will be impacted by the chaos or external factors that once used to shake you. In The Art of Happiness, the Dalai Lama shares a powerful truth. True happiness is not something that comes from external sources like relationships, accomplishments, or material possessions. While these things can enhance our lives, true fulfillment comes from within. It's about achieving a state of mind that is peaceful, centered, and content, regardless of what's going on in the world around you. When you create that inner peace, you are no longer dependent on anything outside of yourself to feel secure or happy. To start cultivating inner peace, begin by incorporating daily habits that nurture your sense of calm and well-being. This could be something as simple as meditating for a few minutes every day, spending time in nature, journaling your thoughts, or setting aside time for quiet reflection. Focus on the small moments that bring you joy and practice gratitude for the present. When you can center yourself and appreciate the now, you begin to quiet the noise of stress and anxiety. When you have inner peace, you no longer feel desperate for approval or validation from others. You are at ease with who you are, where you are in life, and where you're going. This kind of grounded confidence naturally attracts the right people into your life because you are no longer operating from a place of need. You've become someone who simply radiates authenticity and self-assurance. The beauty of inner peace is that it doesn't require you to change who you are in order to gain approval. Instead, it allows you to become so comfortable with your true self that people are drawn to you for exactly who you are. Your calm presence is magnetic, and that's what makes you irreplaceable. People will gravitate towards your energy because it's genuine, stable, and filled with a quiet confidence that can't be faked. Inner peace isn't just about feeling good within, it's a powerful force that makes everything around you feel more aligned and authentic. Number 7, build emotional resilience. Before we get to the final point, let's take a moment to dive into something critical: emotional resilience. This is one of the most important skills you can develop, and it's absolutely essential for navigating the inevitable storms of rejection, disappointment, and heartache that life throws your way. Emotional resilience isn't about avoiding pain or pretending it doesn't hurt. It's about learning how to handle those difficult emotions with strength, grace, and wisdom. In his book, The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle highlights a profound truth. The key to emotional well-being is living fully in the present moment. Too often, we let the past control how we feel today. We ruminate on what went wrong, replaying conversations, or wondering if we could have done things differently. We fall into patterns of self-blame, shame, or frustration, allowing negative thoughts to hijack our peace of mind. But here's the truth: your emotional health should never be held hostage by your past mistakes or someone else's actions. When you focus on building emotional resilience, you shift your perspective. You start to see yourself as someone who can handle adversity and emerge stronger from it. It's about acknowledging that pain is a natural part of life, but it doesn't have to define you. It doesn't have to control your future or your emotional state. You can choose how to respond to life's challenges. The journey toward emotional resilience involves practices like mindfulness, meditation, and self-reflection. Start by giving yourself permission to feel your emotions fully. Don't suppress your pain or try to bury it. If you're grieving, allow yourself that time. But just as importantly, remind yourself that you are capable of healing, of getting back up, and of growing through the experience. Over time, as you practice self-compassion and strengthen your emotional resilience, you'll notice a remarkable shift. You'll become less reactive to external events and more in tune with your inner peace. No longer will your happiness depend on someone else's approval or actions. This newfound emotional strength will not only make you more attractive to others, but it will also make you feel more grounded, confident, and self-assured. When you are emotionally resilient, you become unshakable, and that strength radiates in everything you do. Number 8, rewrite your story. Let's get real for a second. After a breakup, it's incredibly easy to fall into a mental trap. A loop of endless what-ifs and if-onlys. You find yourself replaying conversations, analyzing moments, and wishing you could go back and change how things played out. If only I had said this. If only she had done that. But here's the undeniable truth. The past is written. It's inked in, and no amount of overthinking will ever rewrite it. What you can change, however, is what comes next. The beauty of life is that while you can't edit the past, you hold the pen to your future. You have the power to write the next chapter of your story, starting today. In Can't Hurt Me, David Goggins talks about taking radical ownership of your life. His story is nothing short of extraordinary. He grew up enduring poverty, racism, and abuse. But instead of letting these circumstances define him, he chose to flip the script. Goggins didn't wait for someone else to rewrite his story. He took the pen into his own hands and transformed himself into a living example of grit, resilience, and self-mastery. You have that same power. It's time to stop replaying the old narrative, the one filled with heartbreak, regret, and longing. Instead, start crafting a new one. This isn't about ignoring your pain or pretending the breakup didn't hurt. It's about using that pain as fuel to propel you towards something greater. Imagine your life as a movie and you're the lead character, the hero of the story. Now, think about this. What kind of hero do you want to be? Do you want to be the guy who's stuck in the past, chasing someone who doesn't see his worth? Or do you want to be the man who rises from the ashes, someone who builds a life so full, so rich, and so undeniably amazing that no one can ignore his glow up? Start by asking yourself some hard questions. What do I want my life to look like? What kind of man do I want to become? What goals have I been putting off because I've been too focused on someone else? Then take action. Dive into your passions. Pursue your dreams. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Build your confidence by stepping out of your comfort zone and creating a life that's not just about surviving, but thriving. A life that inspires you every single day. Here's the kicker. This journey isn't about making her regret losing you. That's just a side effect. This is about you taking control of your own narrative. It's about valuing yourself so deeply that you don't need anyone else's validation to feel whole. Think about it. The thing that will truly make her regret losing you isn't some trick, game, or superficial change. It's the undeniable glow of someone who has turned his pain into power. It's the energy of a man who has stopped looking backward and started building forward. When you live a life that speaks for itself, people notice. So here's the bottom line. The thing that will make any woman regret losing you isn't some calculated trick or manipulative game. It's about living a life that is so full, so rich in purpose, and so unapologetically amazing that when she looks back, losing you feels like losing the jackpot. Think about it. When you're living a life of passion, driven by your own goals and values, and thriving in every aspect of who you are, emotionally, mentally, and physically, you become someone irreplaceable. You stop being the person who's just available and start being the one who's truly valuable. You're no longer chasing someone's attention or approval. Instead, you're building a life that others admire and respect. That's the kind of life that sticks with people long after they've walked away. But here's the key. You're not doing any of this for her. You're doing it for you. This is your journey, your transformation, and your growth. Once you start valuing yourself, once you stop chasing and start focusing on what truly matters, your own happiness, success, and well-being, you'll realize something extraordinary. You don't need her regret to validate your worth. When you focus on building the best version of yourself, you automatically shift the narrative. You're no longer caught up in the what-ifs or wondering whether she'll ever regret her decision. Your personal growth and happiness will be so fulfilling, so all-encompassing, that by the time she realizes what she lost, you'll already be so far ahead, living a life that far surpasses anything she could have imagined. By then, you won't be waiting for validation or closure from her. You'll have already moved on, better than you've ever been. So stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect circumstances. The time to act is now. Start today. Begin the process of becoming the man you've always known you could be, the kind of man who doesn't need anyone's approval because he's already fully aware of his own worth. You have everything you need to create the life you desire. Trust yourself and trust the process. When you invest in yourself, in your growth, and in your happiness, everything else will fall into place. You'll naturally become the kind of person that others can't help but respect, admire, and yes, regret losing. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more insights and personal growth tips. Start creating the life you deserve, and we'll be here to guide you every step of the way. Take control of your own narrative. The rest will take care of itself.